The Winter War, a small country, Finland, fighting a giant, the Soviet Union, freezing cold temperatures, and a lone Finnish sniper, Simo Häyhä, making his mark on history. In just 3 months, he had over 500 confirmed kills, a record that still stands today. They called him the White Death. This wasn't a made-up action movie. This really happened, and it was brutal and harsh. Hayha's story isn't just about the numbers. It's about bravery, toughness, and fighting to survive against impossible odds. Simo Häyhä was born in 1905 in Rautjärvi, a small Finnish village close to the Russian border. This village, nestled amidst dense forests and serene lakes, was a place where the rhythm of life was dictated by the changing seasons and the harsh realities of nature. The people of Rautjärvi were resilient, their lives intertwined with the land they lived on. They were farmers, loggers, and hunters, each role essential for survival in this remote part of Finland. Life was simple but hard, made tougher by the cold Finnish winters. The winters were long and unforgiving, with snow blanketing the landscape and temperatures often plunging well below freezing. Families huddled around fireplaces, sharing stories and warmth, while outside, the world was a frozen expanse of white. The cold seeped into every aspect of life, making even the simplest tasks a challenge. Yet it was in this harsh environment that the people of Rautjärvi found their strength and resilience. Hunting was needed to live, not just for fun. It was a skill passed down through generations, a vital part of the community's way of life. The forests and lakes provided food, clothing, and tools, and hunting was a means of ensuring the survival of families during the long winter months. It was a tradition steeped in respect for nature and the animals that sustained them. Every hunt was a lesson in patience, precision, and the delicate balance between life and death. From a young age, Simo practiced his skills in the forests and lakes. He learned to move silently through the woods, to track animals with an almost uncanny ability, and to shoot with remarkable accuracy. These skills were not just hobbies, they were essential for survival. Simo's father and older brothers taught him the ways of the forest, and he absorbed their lessons with a keen mind and a determined spirit. Every day was a new opportunity to hone his abilities and deepen his connection to the land. Patience, precision, a deep respect for nature. These were the qualities that defined Simo as a hunter. He understood that the forest was a living entity, one that demanded respect and care. He would spend hours, sometimes days, tracking a single animal, waiting for the perfect moment to take his shot. His patience was legendary, his precision unmatched, and through it all he maintained a profound respect for the natural world, recognizing that he was a part of it, not separate from it. These weren't just things he learned, they were a part of who he was. Simo's identity was deeply rooted in his connection to the land and his skills as a hunter. He carried these lessons with him throughout his life, shaping his character and guiding his actions. The values of patience, precision, and respect were not just taught. They were lived experiences that became an integral part of his being. They defined him as a person and would later define him as a soldier. At 20, he joined the Finnish Civil Guard, a volunteer group that helped defend the country. This decision was a natural extension of his upbringing. The Civil Guard was composed of men who shared Simo's values and skills, men who were prepared to defend their homeland with the same patience, precision, and respect that they brought to their daily lives. For Simo, joining the Civil Guard was not just a duty, it was an honor and a continuation of his lifelong commitment to his community and country. He didn't know then that these skills would soon be tested in a war against the powerful Red Army. The Winter War would bring unimaginable challenges and hardships, but it would also reveal the true extent of Simo's abilities. His patience, precision, and respect for nature would become his greatest assets on the battlefield, turning him into one of the most effective snipers in history. The lessons he learned in the forests of Rautjärvi would guide him through the darkest days of the war, proving that a hunter's skills could indeed change the course of history. November 1939. Stalin's Soviet Union, wanting more land and wanting to protect Leningrad, attacked Finland with its huge army. The Winter War had begun, the Finns were greatly outnumbered and didn't have as many weapons, but they had something the Soviets didn't, sisu. A Finnish word that means grit, determination, and a never-give-up attitude to fight for their home. Simo Häyhä, now a corporal in the Finnish army, was about to show everyone what sisu really meant. Sisu, a Finnish term, embodies the spirit of determination, bravery and resilience. It was this very spirit that Hayha carried with him into the harsh, unforgiving winter of 1939, during the Winter War between Finland and the Soviet Union. The Finnish soldiers, though vastly outnumbered, were fighting for their homeland, their freedom and their very existence. Hayha, with his unyielding resolve, was about to become a legend. His weapon, the Finnish-made M27 Mosin Nagant rifle, a reliable and accurate rifle, even in extreme cold. This rifle, known for its precision and durability, was Hayha's trusted companion. The M27 Mosin Nagant was not just a tool of war, it was an extension of Hayha himself. With it, he could strike fear into the hearts of his enemies from great distances, all while remaining unseen. Hayha wasn't just a good shot, he was a master of hiding and using the land to his advantage. The dense forests and snow-covered landscapes of Finland became his playground. He knew every tree, every rock and every shadow. His ability to blend into his surroundings was unparalleled. He could remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He wore white clothes to blend in with the snow. This simple yet effective camouflage made him nearly invisible to the enemy. The white winter suit, combined with his knowledge of the terrain, allowed him to move silently and undetected. He became one with the snow, a ghostly figure that could appear and disappear at will. He held his breath to stop steam from giving him away. In the freezing temperatures, even the slightest exhale could create a visible cloud of steam, revealing his position. Hayha's discipline and control over his body were extraordinary. He could slow his breathing and heart rate, becoming almost statue-like, ensuring that he remained undetected. He even packed snow in front of his rifle to hide the puff of snow when he fired. This technique prevented the telltale sign of a sniper's shot, a small burst of snow, from giving away his location. Hayha's attention to detail and his innovative tactics made him a formidable opponent. Every shot he took was calculated, precise and deadly. He was like a ghost, appearing and disappearing in the snowy landscape, leaving behind many Soviet soldiers who had been shot. Hayha's legend grew with each passing day. The Soviet soldiers began to fear the silent thunder of his rifle, never knowing when or where he would strike next. His name became synonymous with death and precision, a testament to the power of one man's determination and skill. The Kola Front, a small area of land in southeastern Finland, became Hayha's hunting ground. This region, blanketed in snow and marked by the harshness of winter, was the stage for one of the most remarkable feats of marksmanship in military history. The dense forests and the biting cold provided both a challenge and an advantage for Hayha, who used the environment to his benefit. The snow-covered terrain made it difficult for the enemy to spot him, while his white camouflage allowed him to blend seamlessly into the surroundings. The Soviets were scared of him. Stories of his deadly accuracy spread quickly through their ranks, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Every soldier knew that stepping into Hayha's territory meant facing an almost invisible threat. The psychological impact of his presence was immense, causing hesitation and panic among the Soviet troops. They never knew when or where he would strike next, and this unpredictability made him even more terrifying. They called him the White Death. This nickname was not just a testament to his lethal skills, but also to the fear he instilled in the enemy. Hayha's ability to remain unseen while delivering deadly shots earned him this ominous moniker. His reputation grew with each successful mission, and the legend of the White Death became a powerful tool of psychological warfare. He would wait for hours, sometimes days, in freezing temperatures. His patience was amazing. His accuracy was legendary. Hayha's dedication to his craft was unparalleled. He would lie in wait, motionless, enduring the biting cold and the discomfort of the snow. His ability to remain still for such long periods was a testament to his discipline and determination. This patience allowed him to observe his targets carefully, ensuring that when he did take a shot, it was with absolute precision. He didn't just shoot, he picked off targets with incredible precision, often aiming for the head for a quick, clean shot. Hayha's marksmanship was not just about hitting the target, it was about doing so with such accuracy that the enemy had no chance to react. His shots were calculated and deliberate, each one a testament to his skill and training. This level of precision required not only physical ability but also mental focus and control. Soviet commanders sent their best snipers to find him. They were determined to eliminate the threat that Hayha posed. These snipers were highly trained and experienced, but even they found it nearly impossible to locate him. Hayha's knowledge of the terrain and his ability to move silently and unseen gave him a significant advantage. The Soviet snipers were often outmatched, finding themselves on the receiving end of Hayha's deadly accuracy. They fired artillery at places where they thought he might be hiding. The Soviets resorted to heavy bombardment in an attempt to flush him out. They hoped that the sheer force of the artillery would either kill him or force him to reveal his position. However, Hayha's instincts and experience allowed him to evade these attacks. He knew how to use the terrain to his advantage, finding cover and moving stealthily to avoid detection. But Hayha, like a ghost, always seemed to be one step ahead. His ability to anticipate the enemy's moves and stay out of sight made him an elusive target. He moved through the snowy landscape with a ghost-like presence, appearing and disappearing at will. This elusiveness was a key factor in his success, allowing him to continue his deadly work while remaining virtually undetectable. The legend of the White Death grew with each passing day, as Hayha continued to defy the odds and strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. March 6, 1940. Hayha was on a mission when a Soviet bullet, probably an explosive one, hit his jaw and face. He was found barely alive, his face covered in blood. Many thought he wouldn't make it. The bullet had done terrible damage. But Simo Häyhä was a survivor. He had many surgeries, his jaw rebuilt using bone from other parts of his body. He suffered terrible pain, but his spirit never broke. He would never fully recover, but he had survived. The war, however, was almost over. The Winter War ended on March 13, 1940. Finland, though it had to give up some land, had kept its freedom. The world was amazed by how the Finns had fought back. Simo Häyhä, the quiet farmer who had become a national hero, was promoted to second lieutenant, a rank never before given in one jump in Finnish military history. He received many gifts from thankful Finns, including a house built by people who admired him. He never bragged about what he had done, always staying humble, a sign of his good character. Simo Häyhä lived a quiet life after the war. He became a successful moose farmer and raised dogs. The horrors of war stayed with him, though. He felt pain that wasn't really there and suffered from the mental effects of fighting. But his story became a legend. He was a symbol of Finnish toughness, a reminder that people can keep going even when things seem impossible. Simo Häyhä died in 2002 at the age of 96. He is still a national icon, his story told again and again, inspiring generations of Finns. He was the best sniper, a master of his skill, but more importantly, he was a man of bravery, humility, and quiet determination. He was Simo Häyhä, the White Death, a legend made in the frozen, harsh conditions of the Winter War.